Yo, what's good, YouTube? Listen, good morning to y'all, and happy Sabbath to those that be observing the seventh-day Sabbath. What I wanted to do was I just wanted to make a quick video before I get my day going, because I'm going to be a little busy, but I'd like to make a couple of videos. But I just want to start off with some wisdom from the Most High, wisdom that is often forgotten. See, one of my favorite books in the Bible is the book of Ecclesiastes, and in my opinion, it's one of the most forgotten or neglected books. I love it because there's nothing quite like it in the Bible, because the author sort of takes on a pessimistic attitude, or maybe a realist attitude is a little more realistic. Like there's verses where he just says, money answers everything. Like we know, like, oh no, money doesn't really mean it. Like in the world we live in, yeah, money solves a lot of problems. The Bible directly says that in Ecclesiastes. So I just think it's cool to like have for all the proverbs and for all the righteous shall prosper, to have like a realist perspective in the Bible. One of these days I'm going to do a hardest Bible verses video about my favorite Bible verses, and it's going to be a lot of stuff from Ecclesiastes. I might just do the whole book of Ecclesiastes, but I digress. I want to start off with a verse that I've been meditating on recently in Ecclesiastes 12, starting in the 11th verse, verses 11 to 12. This is what the preacher says. The words of the wise are like goads, and the nails firmly fixed are the collected sayings. They are given by one shepherd. My son, beware of anything beyond these. Of making many books there is no end, and much study is a weariness to the flesh. So he directly says that too much study is actually a weariness. It becomes burdensome in a sense. Continue to verse 13. The end of the matter, all has been heard. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For God will bring every deed into judgment with every secret thing, whether good or evil. So the way that the preacher finishes this thought and finishes the entire book of Ecclesiastes is basically saying, yo, I'm a realist. The world is screwed up. Money fixes a lot of problems. But at the end of the day, just serve God and keep his commandments. Like that's his ultimate conclusion, right? Follow God and obey God. All right. We live in a crooked world, but just follow God and that's it. That's the end of the matter. So I think it's cool because what I really want to do, focus on, is how he talks about how beware of too much study. Now, the Bible obviously demands a really good work ethic for the people of God, but it also says that too much study is a problem. And I think that's such an important principle to keep in mind, because I love studying the Bible. I get great joy from studying the Bible, studying the scriptures, studying the different periods of history, whether it be the Hebrew patriarchs, the nation of Israel when they were in the land, and then when you get to Christ and the church he established, right? The day-to-day life within the new covenant that Christ established, and the global body of believers, which is the church of the assemble. I love to study these things, and I get such great joy out of it, and especially relating these things back to the diaspora of black people. That's another thing I get joy out of, just spitballing stuff I love to study. But this is coming from someone who used to be very obsessive. Like, I would love the feeling of putting pieces of the puzzle together, now to get like a satisfied feeling from doing that. But it would become obsessive because I would have to keep doing that over and over and over again, and keep replaying the same visual images over and over again of putting like biblical pieces of the puzzle together, so I could get that satisfied feeling again. It's like, oh, I just realized something. I feel good. I kept thinking about it over and over and over and over and over and over within like, I don't know, 10-minute time period, hour time period, to keep getting that feeling of satisfaction, which is ultimately, I don't want to say toxic, but it was toxic. Like, but that's something that God has brought me out of. You know what I'm saying? God has given me a better mind where the way my mind works. I can process information, but I don't get obsessed about things in that way like I used to. So it just, for me, it comes full circle, and it reflects the wisdom of this verse, that study is a good thing. Getting wisdom, especially in the Lord, is a good thing. But too much study is weariness to the flesh. So I just want to encourage anyone, if anyone out there is super studious and loves to do things, but has a tendency to get obsessive, I just want to encourage you, because that used to be me. Wisdom is good. The pursuit of wisdom is good. We know the Bible speaks against laziness. But if you're getting too obsessive, where 24/7 all you think about is these specific things and putting all the pieces together, I'm willing to bet that the Bible is actually against that as well. Y'all, I just wanted to clarify something in editing. Listen, I got all respect for people who devote their entire existence to the service and worship and prayer to God. What I'm trying to say is I think the spirit that you do it in matters. If you're just doing it to devote yourself to God, or like I used to, you're trying to receive that satisfied feeling from putting the pieces together. If you get too obsessed with doing that, I think that's problematic. And that's where this verse from Ecclesiastes, the wisdom preacher, comes in handy. All right. To enjoy the whole lot of what God gave us under the earth, family, happiness, everything like that. Now there is something to be said for people who would devote their entire existence, their entire time to the service of God and go and exile themselves like hermits and just pray and meditate all day. I respect that. I'm not downing that. But for those that get obsessive and think about all these different things within the history of the church or history of the assembly and history of the Israelites, and I love this stuff so much, but you get obsessive about it, keep this verse in mind. Because that's how I think about this stuff constantly. Like right before I go to bed, I meditate on this verse and it's like, all right, that's enough. I love God. I thought about these things so much today. I pray the Lord will lead me into all truth where I'm wrong. I remember this verse. All right, too much study is awareness, and now I'm just gonna calm down. I'm gonna give God His glory, and then I'm gonna go to bed. So that's how I sort of practically apply it, is I don't get too obsessive about something and cause myself to repeatedly think about something like right before I'm going to bed. Like, I serve God, I love God, the God of Abraham, so now I'm just gonna chill out. I'm gonna take everything together, I'm gonna pray, and then I'm gonna go to bed. So there's a time and place to stop thinking repeatedly about the Bible according to the Bible. All praises to the Most High God. One love to those who recognize the Messiah. Hey, y'all be blessed, man. We all gotta be humble. We all gotta be Bereans. We all gotta respect God enough to let the scriptures say what they say, even if it disagrees with where you already personally believe coming in beforehand. All right, so we gotta do that, but we also have to reconcile that in the spirit of humility with also not getting so obsessive about the Bible that we think about it 24/7, and it becomes more of a thing to get a satisfied feeling of putting the pieces together rather than just studying with a humble spirit. So I think this is where that verse really comes in mind. So y'all be blessed in the Messiah, man. I see you all in the next video. Hopefully I could get a couple videos out today. All right. God bless.